Hi, fourth graders. It's Mrs. Lipniski. Hope you're doing well. Today, what you're going to do is read a Stephen Bishop article that can be found in your Common Lit Google Classroom. Now, remember, as you're reading the Common Lit assignment, you can change the font size to make it larger or smaller. You can also have the text read aloud to you. And when you're having it read aloud to you, don't forget that you need to go back in and answer the questions for the discussion. All right, my fourth graders, at this time, you should have your essay planner opened that's called RACE. You're going to be watching my video, answering the question. Okay, so we restate the question. Remember, the question is, how did Stephen have to be brave to make his discoveries in Mammoth Cave? Why do you think Stephen took certain risks to make these discoveries? Describe a time when you acted brave. What pushed you to be brave? So I'm going to restate the question using a topic sentence, and I'm going to say, Stephen had to be brave to help others. Okay, so that is me restating my question. Remember, you're going to use something similar, not word for word. Okay, did I answer the question? Yes, I'm working on it right now. Okay, so now you have to go back into your text in your article and look for your reasons to support your answer. And this is where you will also show your text evidence. Oops, sorry, wrong screen. Okay, so then one of my reasons was that he was brave was that he quickly learned, oops, sorry, spelling, quickly learned his ways around the tunnels. Okay, and was able to give tours. At this point, I might start adding some of my evidence in, or I might wait until I'm writing my final piece, which will be at the bottom of this. Okay, then I kind of double check. I have all my text evidence. Are all my examples relevant and used clearly to support the question? Then I look at explain and elaborate. And am I explaining things? Am I making connections? Is my work organized and sentenced in paragraphs? This is part of more of your checklist, okay? And then down here is where I would actually start taking things from the top and putting them together. So I could literally just take this sentence up here and Control C and start putting it down here and then starting to actually write my paragraph using all the details I have found from the text. And then I wanted to also make sure that somewhere in here, you're going to need to talk about a time that you were brave. So you're going to want to also add that in there. Okay, so I will be back with more editing information soon. Welcome back, my friends. It is now time to take a look at our editing checklist. So remember, you have already gone in your planner and filled out your RACE format with all your details that you need for your paper. At the bottom of your paper, you've already written out, and mine is short right now because remember, I'm not writing the paragraphs for you, but you have all your details and all your multiple paragraphs below to answer your question about how did Stephen have to be brave to make his discoveries in Mammoth Cave? Why do you think Stephen took certain risks to make these discoveries? Describe a time when you acted bravely. What pushed you to be brave? Okay, so you have your whole piece done. Remember, this is due by the end of the week. And then you're going to look at the editing checklist. Okay, so I'm just grabbing it so it opens up. Sorry. So remember, when you're editing, and I think there's a larger form to this. Okay, so when you're reading your writing, you're going to want to make sure you read over your writing how many times? At least 4 times. Make sure that those sentences all make sense, okay? You want to make sure they all make sense. Make sure you've used the proper spacing between your words. You have capital letters in the right spot, you have punctuation, and you have double-checked your spelling. Now, don't forget, as a fourth grader, you need to make sure you have enough detail in the paragraphs to answer the questions. That may mean adding in more elaboration, and that may also mean going back and making sure you have enough information from the text to support your answer. So remember, we say things like, in the text it said, I think this means, okay? So those are great reasons to have information in your paper. Don't forget, if you have extra time, you can always go through and edit your document with a friend if you want to. All right, good luck. We can't wait to read your writing. Bye-bye.